Today in this video we are going to talk about nutrient uptake mechanism. So what is nutrient uptake mechanism? Plant acquires nutrient through various processes from the soil. All these processes are the mechanism of nutrient absorption by the plant. So this occurs in two phases. In the first phase, there is the rapid movement of ions into the free space, that is the outer space of cell, and this process is known as apoplast. So this is the cell wall, and the inner one is the plasma membrane. So when the water flows from soil into the cell, it moves through this cell wall or through the free space. This is the free space, and it finally comes into the xylem. In this process, there is no requirement of ATP, or metabolic energy is not required, and so this is also called passive absorption. This process is the rapid process or the continuous process, and the nutrient moves along with water from high concentration, that is the soil, to the low concentration of cell wall, or from the low concentration of solute to high concentration of solutes. Here solute means the salt or sugar. In the second phase, there is the slow movement of mineral through inner space, that is the symplast. So in this phase, the absorption is active absorption, that is here ATP is required, and this process is also the slow process. So through the figure, when the water moves from soil into the cell, it will move from cell wall into the cell, and through the series of cell it will go to the xylem. Here the difference is, in the first phase there is the movement of water from soil into the xylem through the outer space, that is along with the cell wall. But here in the second phase, the movement of water is through the inner space of the cell, and it will go or pass the series of cell, and then finally it will come inside the xylem. Now there are two types of absorption. One is the passive absorption and another one is the active absorption. So what is passive absorption? Passive absorption of minerals is the absorption of minerals without expenditure of metabolic energy. There are different theories given by different scientists about passive absorption. So the first one is the mass flow theory. Mass flow theory simply means absorption of mineral along with mass flow of water. Means when there is the mass flow of water, the nutrients are absorbed along with water by the plant from the soil. Another one is the ion exchange theory. This theory has two concepts, and first one is the contact exchange theory. So we will get this from this example. So here this is the root and this is the soil particles. So from the root there is the release of hydrogen ion, and from the soil particle there is the potassium ion. Both consist of cations. So the hydrogen ions will move in its oscillating path. This circle is known as oscillating path. And also the potassium ion from the soil particles will also move within its oscillating path. So during this process, a phase will come when this path will coincide with each other, and when they coincide, the hydrogen ion from the root will exchange with and go into the path of potassium ion. So hydrogen ion come into the path of potassium ion, and this potassium ion come into the path of hydrogen ion. And there is the exchange of ions. That is, the hydrogen ion comes here and potassium ion comes here, and this is known as contact exchange theory. Another one is the carbonic acid exchange theory. In this theory, we will get the concept along with this figure. Here is the root and this is the soil particle. So the root will release carbon dioxide during the respiration, and it will react with water to form carbonic acid. So this carbonic acid will further dissociates into hydrogen ion and bicarbonate ion. This hydrogen ion and bicarbonate ion. Now the soil particle consists of potassium ion. This potassium ion will react with bicarbonate ion and form potassium bicarbonate. This is the salt. So now the salt will be absorbed by the root here. So this theory is known as carbonic acid exchange theory. Now another one is the Donald's equilibrium. This name was given before the name of scientist who developed this theory. The movement of ion is due to the presence of non-diffusible ions present inside the cell. So now suppose, for example, this is the cell wall, and these are the negatively charged anions. So, and these are the non-diffusible. So the cations present outside of the cell wall will go inside the cell wall due to the presence of these non-diffusible anions, and this theory is known as Donald's equilibrium theory. Now another one is the active absorption. That is the second type, active absorption. In this type, the movement of ion takes place with the help of carrier protein. So what is the carrier protein? Means the protein present outside the cell. Suppose this is the cell wall. The protein will carry some nutrients along with them to the cell wall, and here it will release these ions into the cell. And when this protein releases this ion into the cell, it requires energy. It requires metabolic energy to do or to perform this process. So this is the active absorption.